तेरे रंग में हृदय रंगाया, तेरे रंग में हृदय रंगाया। दीन बंधु दीननाथ है, तेरे रंग में हृदय रंगाया, तेरे रंग में हृदय रंगाया। परम प्रिय है तुमको पाकर, परम प्रिय है तुमको पाकर, आयु तो अनंत मुझ पर छाया, आयु तो अनंत मुझ पर छाया। शून्य हृदय में प्रभु बरनाथ है, शून्य हृदय में प्रभु बरनाथ है। अमृत धारा तुमने बहाया, तेरे रंग में हृदय रंगाया, तेरे रंग में हृदय रंगाया। दीन बंधु दीननाथ है, तेरे रंग में हृदय रंगाया, तेरे रंग में हृदय रंगाया। बिन तेरे ये जीवन मेरा, बिन तेरे ये जीवन मेरा, अंधियारा काल में खोया, तेरे रंग में हृदय रंगाया, तेरे रंग में हृदय रंगाया। प्रभु तेरे रंग में हृदय रंगाया, तेरे रंग में हृदय रंगाया। जय गुरु।
Jai Guru Susima. That was excellent. And first time I think you sang in Hindi, so it was really very nice. And now one kirtan will be performed by Sarmister.
Jai Guru everyone. Today I'm going to perform kirtan for the first time, and this kirtan was written by the famous devotee of Sree Sree Thakur, Him Kobi. And I think we have heard him many times in many discussions with Sree Sree Thakur, and we have heard him in Alochana Prasanga in other books as well. ওরে ওরে আমার সবার সাথী, ওরে ওরে আমার সবার সাথী, তুমি সব সারাতে দাও সারা, তুমি সব সারাতে দাও সারা, হয়ে আছি আমি হারা। দয়াল তোমার মাঝে আমার আমি হয়ে আছি আমি হারা। দয়াল তোমার মাঝে আমার আমি হয়ে আছি আমি হারা। ওরে ওরে আমার সবার সাথী, ওরে ওরে আমার সবার সাথী, তুমি সব সারাতে দাও সারা, তুমি সব সারাতে দাও সারা, হয়ে আছি আমি হারা। দয়াল তোমার মাঝে আমার আমি হয়ে আছি আমি হারা। তোমায় দেখে চোখে আমার দেখা ফুটেছে, তোমার বাণী শোনে শ্রবণ তোমায় দেখে চোখে আমার দেখা ফুটেছে, তোমার বাণী শুনে শ্রবণ শুনতে পেয়েছে, আরো কি যে হয়েছে, দয়াল পরশ তোমার অবশ করে গো, দয়াল পরশ তোমার অবশ করে গো, তোমার সুরে করে ঘর ছাড়া, 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 পরশ তোমার অবশ করে গো, দয়াল পরশ তোমার অবশ করে গো, তোমার সুরে করে ঘর ছাড়া, তোমার সুরে করে ঘর ছাড়া, হয়ে আছি আমি হারা, দয়াল তোমার মাঝে আমার আমি, হয়ে আছি আমি হারা, তোমার দেখায় আমার দেখায় হারিয়ে তুলেছে, রূপের হাওয়ায় মন বাগানে ফুল ফুটায়েছ, আরো কি যে করেছ, দয়াল তোমায় দেখায় আমার দেখা রাঙিয়ে তুলেছ, রূপের হাওয়ায় মন বাগানে ফুল ফুটায়েছ, আরো কি যে করেছ, আমি বুঝতে পারি কইতে নারী গো, আমি বুঝতে পারি কইতে নারী গো, আমি কইতে গিয়ে পাগল পারা, কইতে গিয়ে পাগল পারা, বুঝতে পারি কইতে নারী গো, আমি বুঝতে পারি কইতে নারী গো, আমি কইতে গিয়ে পাগল পারা, কইতে গিয়ে পাগল পারা, আমি বুঝতে পারি কইতে নারী গো, আমি বুঝতে পারি কইতে নারী গো, আমি কইতে গিয়ে পাগল পারা, কইতে গিয়ে পাগল পারা, হয়ে আছি আমি হারা, দয়াল তোমার মাঝে আমার আমি, হয়ে আছি আমি হারা, দয়াল তোমার মাঝে আমার আমি, হয়ে আছি আমি হারা, ওরে ওরে আমার সবার সাথী, ওরে ওরে আমার সবার সাথী, তুমি সব সারাতে দাও সারা, তুমি সব সারাতে দাও সারা, হয়ে আছি আমি হারা, দয়াল তোমার মাঝে আমার আমি, হয়ে আছি আমি হারা, দয়াল তোমার মাঝে আমার আমি, হয়ে আছি আমি হারা। জয় গুরু।
খুব সুন্দর শর্মিষ্ঠা, দারুণ হয়েছে।
Obviously,
Jai Guru. Now I'd like to request our respected Ranu Sanda to talk few words about his experience of his interaction with Sri AcharyaDev in recent years. And many of you know, and many of you may not know about Ranuda. Ranuda, he is based in London, and he's here for many years, but he runs his own business. But recently he started a very much, I would say, one of the most significant or dream project for all of us. He has started doing PhD on Satyanusaran in Greenwich University, London. So this is one of the, I would say, very much fantastic and most daring project. He is working on it with the grace of AcharyaDev Sree Sree Dada and with direction of Sree Sree Bhavaida. So I'd like to listen few words from Ranuda. Ranuda, you are here? Yeah, I think you are here. Can you unmute?
It is okay now?
Yeah, but in a video we can see only half face.
Yes.
Can you I think this is little better. So if you can just move the camera a little bit so that we all can see better.
Thank you.
Yeah, please.
His Holiness Prophet Anukul Chandra, Sree Sree Dada, present AcharyaDev Dada, Rev Bhavaida, Shipaida, Binkida, and members of Thakur family, my millions of pranam. My heartiest Jai Guru to those who joined today's e-satsang to celebrate 80th birthday of Dada. Dada, the third generation of Thakur family, present Chief AcharyaDev, born on October 21, 1933 at 12:17 a.m. in the village Himayatpur, now it is in Bangladesh, to ensure uninterrupted and unadulterated flow of Vangsha Parampara. Thakur established his divine philosophy without the least distortion. Sri Dada has chosen his eldest son, Ashok Chakraborty, as the head of the organization. We fondly and reverently called him Dada. From his youth, he took interest in the activities of the organization and taken complete responsibilities with great enthusiasm. Once a philosophical book was sent by an American scholar to Thakur. Thakur handed over this book to Krishna Prasanna Bhattacharya, who was sitting there. Thakur handed over the book to Krishnada to review the book. After long waiting for 7 days, Krishnada returned it to Thakur. At this moment, Dada was sitting there. He thought, let it be reviewed by the Dada also. Book has been handed over to Dada. On the following day, Dada came with the book. Thakur was very much curious to what Krishna Prasanna Bhattacharya has taken 7 days. Let's see. Let there be a test how much he has read all these things. Dada asked it, Thakur asked him one question from the book. Within a twinkle of eye, Dada responded, given the correct reply what is written in the books. At this, the Krishna Prasanna, he became somewhat anxious. What I have taken 7 days, Dada has taken within a night. Thakur could understood what is going on. He asked Dada another question. In the second question also, Dada promptly replied. So we can grasp what the caliber, what the intelligence of Dada is. Speaking about Dada, Thakur once said, he's quite like what I was at the age in looks, gait, conduct, and speech. In another day, what happening? Just after listening some incidents from the school of Dada, which he narrated himself, Bodha said delightedly, your appearance, my appearance are quite similar. When you wailed, it seems as if I was walking. Dada was untiringly in fulfilling Thakur's wishes. He served his father, Bodha, with sincere and loving wholeheartedly till the very last breath of later's life. He followed him as a shadow. Many of the projects undertaken during the lifetime were materialized by Dada himself by taking the responsibility of Satsanga as Acharya, as new zeal has been felt in every sphere of activity. During Bodha's lifetime, Dada had served as the administrator of Satsang and also taken all the decisions with proper approval of his father. Thakur considered initiation the fundamental work, primary duty of every worker. Dada trying to infuse the each and every sphere of life with the assistance of all the Ritik Devatas. My heartiest pranam to all the Ritik Devatas of Satsang. It is my appeal to continue this festival, the initiation festival. Dada could create a new era in Satsanga world by recording the record, by breaking the record of our Satsanga. What we have done during the last 5 years, I think with the initiative and caretaking of Dada, Babaida has done more than this. This was an excellent breaking through in our Satsanga era. Thakur one day stated in a great happiness and enthusiasm. Among them, I found myself. The boy is exceptionally sharp. He is very sweet, as he is intelligent. Once Thakur said, so many thoughts throng my mind. There will be university here. People from different countries will come to study different subjects, where the Babu will be its director. Ashokda, he was supposed to be addressed, or it is just a nickname. Bodha also called him as Babu, and Thakur usually called him Babu. That means how loving he was, it is very much clear from the here. I'm just briefing the few minutes, only to tell because it is very difficult to explain something about Dada because what he has done, it is better known to all. But just I am taking my practical experience. When Satsang Mandir at Silchar was opened, as per instruction of Barda, Dada was there. When the speech were going, at that time, some of the devotees came to Dada and requested him, Dada, now you please deliver a speech. Dada immediately rushed to the pandal. What happened that it was very interesting that one of my senior Ritik, Falgun Vijay Chakravarti, he was the in charge of that function. He also came here. 15 or 16 devotees came here, requested Dada. Dada immediately started. What happened then? Dada gone to this pandal. He has viewed the pandal and in the return from where he was started, where he was asking to take rest, he returned to this place and some of them could not even reach to the pandal. By this time, the Dada has returned to the place where he was sitting. This is our Dada. How active he is, it could be grasped by anybody. I am very much weak in arithmetic, and due to the age factor, or it may be my hereditary or whatever it may be, I could not recall all these things. Just I am telling one experience. I have seen the royal feet of Dada when my age was 18 in the year 1967. Subsequently, in the year 2015, after elapse of 48 years, I am not committing any error here, though I am weak in mathematics or arithmetic. It is after 48 years, after my initiation or first visit of Satsang Devar, I attended. At that time, in my first visit, Thakur was there, Barda was there, and after the 48 years, my subsequent visit, Dada was in charge of the satsang. After morning prayer and just after meeting Babaida, SPR Povitroda, present Assistant Secretary Rajuda and Rajeshwai, they accompanied me. We reached to Nath Mandir. They reintroduced me with Dada. Shipaida was also sitting there. I accompanied with my wife. Dada asked them to give 2 chairs, one for me and one for my wife. Anyhow, I have not taken any chair. I was standing there. Dada started discussion with my wife. And incidentally, the discussion was continued for 40 to 45 minutes. Then the conversation was with my Dada and my wife. Before departing or stop the discussion, Dada asked me, you came after 48 years. I am providing you a few workers. They will accompany you. And I will ask you one thing. Yeah, I could grasp that, and I could know that you undertake all the works after due planning, but I take decision spontaneous. So I need a report for your during these 48 years. What are the changes made in the Satsang ashram? They will help you. And if you need more person, I will give more persons. Everybody will go with writing pad, pen. If you need, you take one, or you may not take. This is up to you. And specifically asked me, at least go to our hospital first, then go to the Tapovan Vidyalaya, then library, and any other thing. If you can walk, then it is very good. Otherwise, you completely view all these things and make a complete note. They will write down all these notes. Just you have to ask them what is you are viewing and what your assessment. And for the evening section, he has asked me, Raju will remain in philanthropy office. You go to the philanthropy office, see the complete philanthropy office. How we are working. If you need any suggestion, you convey to Raju. And Raju has been also asked, whatever documents he like to see, let him see. At the very first instance, when I entered the philanthropy office, Rajuda showed me various departments, how departments are working, and especially how the computer cell is working. Interestingly, before starting checking some of the documents, Rajuda showed me a register. The register is written by Dada himself. Then I asked Rajuda, how peculiar, why Dada is writing this register? Then Rajuda asked me, the name of the register is live register. What does it mean? The live register means those who have seen Thakur, those who have seen Borda, and those who have seen Dada. This is the register maintained by Dada. You have to write here your name also, your address, your contact number. And for a very long period, we are maintaining this register. Dada frequently checks it. And from now onwards, you are a member of Dada's family. It is completely for Dada's. You will get all the events, information, and whatever Dada wants to gather from members of this register, Dada frequently remains on questioning all these things. Anyhow, I have seen all these things, and just I considered how Dada takes care of Ritik Devatas, those who are the senior members of Satsang. Anyhow, at the end, I could not complete the report because I had a very short time. In the evening, we had to meet Ma also. and family members of Babaida, Shipaida, Binkida. Anyhow, I have viewed all these things, what I felt necessary, and I gave a brief report in 4 days. In the night itself, Dada was still sitting at till I think 8:30 p.m. He has taken the sleep, just 4-page note, and asked me, "You are a Bengali? Your Thakur was also from a Bengali family. You write in 40 pages, not less than 40 pages, because you came here after 48 years. It should not be less than 40 pages. You take your own time." Then I, with due apology, asked him, "Dada, I am Bengali. That is correct. But I can't write Bengali properly, especially Yuktakkar." Then he asked me, "Okay, no problem. Write whatever you can write. You take 10 to 15 days time. Then send it to Gurada or Raju. They will see it." Anyhow, within after 12 or 13 days, I send it to Dada. After 3 days, I received the telephone call. "You have written very nicely. Anyhow, Gura and Raju, they may rewrite something, but they will not change your any basic conception. And what should be the title of these pages? I will arrange publication in Alochana." Instantly, I given the name Bhusorge Amar Ekdin. That means my one day in the heaven. Ultimately, it was published. What I am telling now, I've just published all these things. And some of the contents of my discussion with the Dada, that also I've explained. And contents of discussion with Ma, or discussion with Ma, was also quite personal. How we came in London, what type of food we prepare, what is the educational background of my children. All these are things that I tried to publish right in Alochana. So considering all these things, being head of the satsang, if he considers for a single devotee, whole devotee's family, he is nothing but supreme head of our family. From that day, I consider Dada. I have lost my father, lost my mother. Dada is father, mother, elder brother, guru, and guide. I was in business. Rajashree is asked in the very beginning. I was in business with the guide of one of my best friend. He is Islam follower. He has seen Thakur's photo many times, and he has asked me, "Okay, if you have interest to know something regarding religion and all these things, you come for a open session in university." I visited 2-3 university, and later on, I attended open session University of London, Goldsmith, I could say about Thakur, and especially Satyanaswaran, page number 12, and the Pursuit of Truth, page number 12 and 13. Our discussion was around 3 hours. And at the conclusion of the discussion, the lady officer Jennifer Mayo, while he was viewing all these things, and after 3 years, she had kept her hand in my shoulder and asked me, Mr. Sen, we had 15 or 17 candidates, but we have listened from you only. So ultimately, I can't say properly that you have been selected, but tentatively you have been selected, but we need certain certificate from you. On the following day, I attended with the certificates. I have handed over the certificate, and on the same day, she has asked, we need certain scriptures, especially Satyanaswaran. Anyhow, I attended with 3 copies of Satyanaswaran, The Pursuit of Truth, handed over to them, and my selection process has been completed. Then asked me to write around first time 5,000 words, then 200 words, then 100 words on Satyanaswaran. After selection, a new problem created. That was a very complicated problem. Their question was, a boy of 22 cannot write such a philosophical book. On that night, I was mentally very much depressed. It's like a magic or so. On that night, around 3 p.m. or so, 3 a.m. or so, I received a call from Babaida. He asked me, just I wish to know what is your health condition, what you are doing. Then I asked Babaida, Dada, this is the problem. Universities, they do not agree with the Satyanaswaran. Their conception is a boy of 22 cannot write such philosophical book. Babaida was at that time Guwahati. He asked me, don't worry. Next day I'm going to Deoghar. I'll talk with Baba. Baba will give the satisfactory reply. Babaida returned, Deoghar. He talked with Dada. Dada has written only a 5 lines reply. I am not going to convey what he has written. And the same letter has been with my covering letter I have given to the university. Ultimately, university accepted his. So with this, I think nothing more is necessary to give any identification what Dada is. And one thing I like to convey, what Dada was, what Thakur was, what Borda was, it is just like a chain. What Thakur's view, that was the view of Borda, that was the view of Dada, that's the view of Babaida. It is just like a chain. Just sometimes Babaida asked in the evening, at least time of dinner, all the family members should take dinner at a time. I don't know whether they have taken the dinner. It is not possible because Babaida was seen Thakur. But their magical relation, philosophical relation, they had made a chain of same heart, same appearance, same view. Their only intention to grow satsang. We should enjoy satsang. We should love satsang. We should respect satsang. With this, I'm concluding with due apology. In course of my saying, if there is something wrong, excuse me. Jai Guru. Happy 80th birthday, Dada. Jai Guru, once again, everybody.
Jai Guru Ranada. That was really excellent speech, and it is so amazing to know that AcharyaDev Sree Sree Dada remembered that you visited Satsang Devgad Ashram in 1968 and you visited after 48 years. So like, and probably during that time you even did not know who was AcharyaDev Dada, like, while in his young days, we used to call him as Pujavad Sri Asokda. So probably you never met also, like during that time, that who was Pujavad Asokda during that time, because during that time Sri Sree Thakur was alive and Sri Sree Thakur was like a son. When Thakur was there, no one, everyone was attracted to Thakur only. But that was so amazing to know that AcharyaDev Sree Sree Dada remembered you, and then even after 48 years, excellent. I mean, it is just amazing. So excellent.
This is their memory. Memory is such memory.
Yeah.
Even 2-3 days earlier, we are discussing regarding 7th layer and the first layer, third layer, fourth layer, all these layers, and the one the senior Ritti, Mr. Falguni Vijay Chakraborty, he is usually, now his age is 92.
Oh.
But every word from taking initiation, he visits, comes not less than 4 times in a year.
Oh.
And he explained that the Dada and the family members of Dada, they are coming from the 7th floor and they will go to the 7th floor.
Right.
That's our Thakur family. We are more lucky.
And also you said, yeah, fantastic. And you also said the way, you got selected for the PhD, on the basis of on Satyanusar. Of course I knew this, but I wanted that everyone here should know. So that was also great experience you shared. Actually, on this occasion, I'd like to share on a small message one AcharyaDev has just mentioned during casual talk. AcharyaDev Dada, a couple of years back, he just mentioned that আমাকে ফাঁকি দিয়ে কোনো লাভ হবে না, আমি ইচ্ছা করলেই 1000 মাইল দূরেও কি ঘটছে বলতে পারি. Means if I just translate on my own words, like if no one can escape from me. If I wish, I can see what is happening in thousands of miles away. So now it shows that, who is AcharyaDev Sree Sree Dada. So actually we have lots of this type of incidents, like where we can see even, like at some incident, AcharyaDev Sree Sree Dada casually just mentioned, like, some one of his devotee in Devghar was just arguing like what happened in the battle of Kurukshetra. Then AcharyaDev Sree Sree Dada just accidentally mentioned that, you are just arguing with from whose mouth that Bhagavad Gita came off. So like in AcharyaDev Dada is who, even it is so difficult for us to define and explain or describe about his nature and character. So that was really excellent. Now I'd like to request Indrani Ma from Paris to perform a bhajan.
Just I am taking 1 minute because somebody sent a message that I am not in Greenwich, I am in Goldsmith.
Okay, sorry, it was my mistake.
Yeah.
Because I know in the location it is in Greenwich, so by mistake I told Greenwich University.
No matter.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
That's very nice. Thank you.
Thank you. And I thanks everybody and all Satsangis for loving me.
Not a problem. Thanks for sharing your experience also.
Thank
Indrani, you can unmute and start bhajan.
জয় গুরু।
Jai Guru.
পরমপিতার রাতুল চরণে আমার ভূমিষ্ঠ প্রণাম। ঠাকুর পরিবারের সবার রাতুল চরণে আমার ভূমিষ্ঠ প্রণাম। জাগার লগন এলো তোরা জাগনা ওরে, জাগার লগন এলো তোরা জাগনা ওরে, বিধির বিষান মা ভৈষরে ডাক দিয়ে যায় ভুবন জুড়ে, বিধির বিষান মা ভৈষরে ডাক দিয়ে যায় ভুবন জুড়ে। আর কতকাল ঘুমিয়ে রবি মিথ্যা প্রবন্ধে, আর কতকাল ঘুমিয়ে রবি মিথ্যা প্রবন্ধে, জাগার লগন এলো তোরা জাগনা ওরে, জাগার লগন এলো তোরা জাগনা ওরে। স্বস্তি তপন পূব গগনে সুক্তি ভাঙার আমন্ত্রণে, স্বস্তি তপন পূব গগনে সুক্তি ভাঙার আমন্ত্রণে, মুক্তি আলোয় ভরলো ভুবন দেখ না তোরা রে, মুক্তি আলোয় ভরলো ভুবন দেখ না তোরা রে, জাগার লগন এলো তোরা জাগনা ওরে, জাগার লগন এলো তোরা জাগনা ওরে। আধার ভরা রাত্রি গেল জাগরণের লগন এলো, আধার ভরা রাত্রি গেল জাগরণের লগন এলো, মুক্তি পথের যাত্রী তোরা চল না এবারে, মুক্তি পথের যাত্রী তোরা চল না এবারে, জাগার লগন এলো তোরা জাগনা ওরে, জাগার লগন এলো তোরা জাগনা ওরে। পথ হারানোর ভয় তো গেছে, দেখো যে ওই দয়াল নিজে, পথ হারানোর ভয় তো গেছে, দেখো যে ওই দয়াল নিজে, বিবর্ধনের পথটি দেখান পরম আদরে, বিবর্ধনের পথটি দেখান পরম আদরে, জাগার লগন এলো তোরা জাগনা ওরে, জাগার লগন এলো তোরা জাগনা ওরে। অমৃতময় সে পথ ধরে চলতে হবে সবাই ওরে, অমৃতময় সে পথ ধরে চলতে হবে সবাই ওরে, সেই চলনে এনে দেবে মুক্তি সবারে, সেই চলনে এনে দেবে মুক্তি সবারে, জাগার লগন এলো তোরা জাগনা ওরে, জাগার লগন এলো তোরা জাগনা ওরে। প্রভৃতির শাসন যিনি তুলনা প্রভুর জয়ধ্বনি, প্রভৃতির শাসন যিনি তুলনা প্রভুর জয়ধ্বনি, সত্তা পাবে প্রেমে বার বাঁধনা তাহারে, সত্তা পাবে প্রেমে বার বাঁধনা তাহারে, জাগার লগন এলো তোরা জাগনা ওরে, জাগার লগন এলো তোরা জাগনা ওরে। তাহার লাগে আকুল হয়ে চল সবারে সাথে লয়ে তাহার লাগে আকুল হয়ে চল সবারে সাথে লয়ে ইষ্ট প্রতিষ্ঠাতে পাবো মুক্তি মোরারে ইষ্ট প্রতিষ্ঠাতে পাবো মুক্তি মোরারে জাগার লগন এলো তোরা জাগনা ওরে জাগার লগন এলো তোরা জাগনা ওরে এবার অভয় চরণ লোভে শান্তি পাবে স্বস্তি পাবে এবার অভয় চরণ লোভে শান্তি পাবে স্বস্তি পাবে নামামৃত সুধা পানে ধন্য হবে রে নামামৃত সুধা পানে ধন্য হবে রে আর কতকাল কাটাবি দিন অবহেলায় রে আর কতকাল কাটাবি দিন অবহেলায় রে জাগার লগন এলো তোরা জাগনা ওরে জাগার লগন এলো তোরা জাগনা ওরে বিধির বিষান মা ভৈসুরে ডাক দিয়ে যায় ভুবন জুড়ে বিধির বিষান মা ভৈসুরে ডাক দিয়ে যায় ভুবন জুড়ে আর কতকাল ঘুমিয়ে রবি মিথ্যা প্রবন্ধে আর কতকাল ঘুমিয়ে রবি মিথ্যা প্রবন্ধে জাগার লগন এলো তোরা জাগনা ওরে জাগার লগন এলো তোরা জাগনা ওরে জাগার লগন এলো তোরা জাগনা ওরে জাগার লগন এলো জাগার লগন এলো জাগার লগন এলো জাগার লগন এলো তোরা জাগনা ওরে
Fantastic. You are so melodious, excellent. And this kirtan is also very nice. So you have done fantastic. Now I would like to request Sachidananda Prusty bhai, means our Pintu bhai, please perform kirtan. And also I'd like to request here, like if anyone wish to share any of a specific incident happened in their life or in their family with regarding AcharyaDev Sree Sree Dada's direction, etc. So please do share here, because of course we do have plan, but like Saraswati Ma has mentioned, so similarly if anyone would like to share any of your kind of personal experience or any direction which has changed your life or someone's in your family, please come up and do share. This will be really excellent, and this is a great day for all of us to share and talk about Sree AcharyaDev Dada only. Jai Guru. Pintu bhai, please.
Today is very auspicious day. We are celebrating 88th birthday of our Param Pujyapat AcharyaDev Sree Sree Dada. ये शुभ दिन में मैं श्री श्री ठाकुर जी के रातुल चरण में आप सभी का मंगल प्रार्थना करता हूँ और सारा जगत का कल्याण हो, यही मंगल प्रार्थना करता हूँ। दीना दयाल ठाकुर दाता दयाल मेरे प्रिय परम गुरु परम आधार मेरे दीना दयाल ठाकुर दाता दयाल मेरे प्रिय परम गुरु परम आधार मेरे मालिक शरण में तेरे तारन पीरन भी आए मालिक शरण में तेरे तारन पीरन भी आए जीवन पथ पर केवल सेवक मुझको बनाए इष्ट सेवा इष्ट कर्म सत धर्माधार मेरे इष्ट सेवा इष्ट कर्म सत धर्माधार मेरे दीना दयाल ठाकुर दाता दयाल मेरे प्रिय परम गुरु परम आधार मेरे। दीनहीन दास तेरा भक्ति निष्ठा बढ़ाऊं। दीनहीन दास तेरा भक्ति निष्ठा बढ़ाऊं। सद्गुरु तुम हो समर्थ, सद्गुरु तुम हो समर्थ, प्राणन शक्ति जगाऊं। पूर्ण पुरुष दर्द प्राण मूर्त इष्टाधार मेरे। पूर्ण पुरुष दर्द प्राण मूर्त इष्टाधार मेरे। दीना दयाल ठाकुर दाता दयार मेरे। प्रिय परम गुरु परम आधार मेरे। पुरुषोत्तम जीवन नाथ परम प्रेमी शुभ वर्षी। पुरुषोत्तम जीवन नाथ परम प्रेमी शुभ वर्षी। शासन है विधि विधान, शासन है विधि विधान परम दयाल समदर्शी। ईश्वर प्रतीक गुरु प्रीति मुखर प्राणाधार। ईश्वर प्रतीक गुरु प्रीति मुखर प्राणाधार। दीन दयाल ठाकुर दाता दयार मेरे। प्रिय परम गुरु परम आधार मेरे। दीन दयाल ठाकुर दाता दयार मेरे। प्रिय परम गुरु परम आधार मेरे। दीन दयाल ठाकुर दाता दयार मेरे। प्रिय परम गुरु परम आधार मेरे। जय गुरु।
जय गुरु पिंटू भाई, this kirtan is absolutely fantastic. और आपने जितना दिल से गाए, it was like we just felt like we all mesmerized actually with the way you sang this kirtan. This kirtan itself is absolutely fantastic with all the wordings, but at the same time, the way you sang, it's just like, you all kind of, become completely overwhelmed in this process. Jai Guru.
ठाकुर जी की कृपा। जय गुरु।
Saraswati Ma, would you like to share your quick speech now?
Rajesh, I'll be the last if it's time permits. Then.
Oh, you can do it, not a problem.
No, I like to be the last.
Sure. Okay. Then I would like to request our Prasna Bhai to deliver his speech about his experience and whatever. So Prasna Bhai, please start and try to complete within 10 minutes.
Joy Guru. Thank you for the opportunity of Jajan. Whenever I
think you are having two connections, so please mute on.
Okay. Schoolboy error. Sorry about that. Joy Guru. For some reason, whenever I hear the word Jajan, there's just one thing that comes to mind. And that is Babaida's explanation of why we do Jajan. And how comprehensive Jajun actually should be. The reason that Bhavaida gave was explaining it in terms of prayer, Nishkam prayer, Shokam prayer. And he said that Thakur doesn't listen to the prayers that we do for ourselves or the prayers that we do for our family members or those who we have a emotional connection to. But those whom we offer prayer to for others for whom we don't have that blood or instinctive connection, those are the prayers that Thakur listens to. And if we want for our own prosperity, that body of people offering heartfelt prayers by way of well wishes to Thakur for us, then we need to develop that society. And for that, we need Jajun. And I'd never heard any explanation of Jajun in that way before. It made sense. It was reasonable. And it was very beautiful. And it was something that's very pragmatic and very grounded and at the same time spiritual. I always keep that in mind. And the other dimension of Jajun is it's not just speaking. When someone says anything by way of advice or by way of spiritual wealth, then it's something that we feel like it's just words coming out of our mouth from an instruction from the brain, that it's just a mental capacity that we've appreciated something. But it's not, that's not the totality of realization. I can read a book and I can intellectually appreciate it, or I can see the link and the reasoning and the truth behind it as laid out in that book. But that's not the totality of realization. And the totality of realization is when I imbue that in my character and conduct. And there are many years, I would say, that I went through Jajun as if it was just an intellectual exercise. And it was relatively frighteningly recently that I would say that it's really dawned on me. I had this awakening that that's actually not the totality of Jajun. And that's actually when we have this power of Jajun, when we do realize it in its full sense, when we realize it through our character and conduct. And this is where I would say you could draw an easy inference, despite the complicated mathematics of how is one's character and conduct related to the power of one's speech. I have absolutely no idea of the science behind that. But in terms of a demonstration that is very easy to grasp and understand, if I were to say something about Sree Sree Thakur and his ideology, and if AcharyaDev were to say something about the philosophy or the ideas of Sree Sree Thakur, then there's hell and high water of difference between my words and his. And why? Because everything that he says, even if it's simple words, it's all realized through his character and conduct. That Thakurotto is fully awakened. And it's through that inspiration of him having his Thakurotto awakened that gives his words immense power. Even if it be simple, even if it be words that can come into the mind of somebody else and can be said by somebody else, there's a huge difference in the strength of AcharyaDev's words, or the strength of Gurujan's words, and the strength of those whose practice is yet to reach that level. And this is normal for all of us. And I take gratitude in the fact that we have normal company of such individuals from whom we can guide our march forward. When I was sitting in front of AcharyaDev one time, there was a fireworks display. I'm not sure if I've related this anecdote in this forum before, but I don't think I have, so I'll relate it here. It was around the time of Kali Puja, and so as per the tradition of Kali Puja, there were fireworks to celebrate the occasion, and fireworks were going off in front of were organized by Bod Darbari and Thakur Poribar, and they were going off in front of there was a display in front of the Natmundop where AcharyaDev was sitting. And I was looking at it and I was thinking, it's all right, but the firework display in material terms is not as splendid as some of the things I've seen in London or even in my own locality. These were things that were going through my mind. Well, I was thinking I shouldn't really be thinking in this way. I mean, that's not the way to look at that. You know, this is not so well off a country. It's not so resourced as the City of London. And then just at that moment, you know, just as I was having this mental tussle, AcharyaDev sort of leaned forward, not looking at me. I was sitting right next to him. I forgot to mention that. I was sitting at 90 degrees right in front of him, to his the left-hand side, and AcharyaDev leaned forward and said, he was saying it to me, but he seemed to be saying it to others. Dako, bachara kota ananda pache. Tokon, I realized where my mind should be, where my attention should be. What is the real essence of this? I was thinking in material terms, and AcharyaDev put my attention to the real heart of the matter. It's in these simple ways that someone who has a direct connection with your inner being can guide you perfectly and minutely. And this is how we can normally understand, despite so many things being unknown, we get these demonstrations like, yes, this is the person that can guide me and take me forward progressively. Maybe it's baby steps at a time, but nonetheless, progress going forward. And I marry that experience with another anecdote where AcharyaDev is asking devotees, when you go to Thakurbari and pray before Warrel Bungalow, where Thakur's where Thakur Sri Vigraha is at the moment, what do you see? Everyone says, well, we see the Sri Vigraha that represents Sri Sri Thakur, and we pray thinking of him. And AcharyaDev replied, but I see him. Today, we're all going to go to Thakurbari for the evening prayer and pray as if he's actually there. So I was just thinking, you know, when my own experience of AcharyaDev understanding me, and he has that direct vision of Sri Sri Thakur, the one who is at the object of my worship. He is the connecting individual. Just like if I were to make a telephone call to a Guru Bhai in Deoghar, I haven't a direct telephone connection with, I don't know, Pujanil Bab either. But if I call my friend, then I can perhaps come to know what Pujanil Bab either is saying. Just like that, in this simple way, where we understand that we have some sort of medium by which we can connect with the person whom we're targeting. Similarly, AcharyaDev to me is just like that. The medium by which I can directly understand Sri Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra. When I look at the Sri Vigraha, to be fair, that's all I see. Just the carving of stone that has been consecrated as a sacred representative of Sri Sri Thakur. But when I make a prayer to him, to Thakur, I don't get that normal feedback. I don't have that awakening or realization. But if I have someone who understands me and at the same time has that vision and awakening of Sri Sri Thakur, then he is the person that I need to take hold of in order to reach my object of worship. It's just like Ramakrishnadev, who didn't see just a stone statue of Ma Kali, but saw a living Ma Kali and would talk to the statue as if she was alive. And everyone used to think, oh, he's just a Purohit who's perhaps lost his mind a little bit. But then actually people realized that he is the realized individual, and the actual realization of God can be had through him. Just like Motur Mohan Vishwas, who was Gnostic, who was a non-believer in God, but had an awakening through a normal living ideal. It goes back to what Rajashida was saying about who AcharyaDev is. You know, he very casually said, "Oh, you're doing torko with the very person who delivered the Gita." We should take immense pride in the fact that we have this safety net in a normal way, that in every manner of our doings, we have someone who can actually guide us. And there's something else that Rajashida pointed out earlier on in this very short song, that there's no limit to his vision on this world. So actually, if we really have that belief, then he is with us here and now. He can hear these words. He is part of this shotsong. And in as much as he is here, we have that easy connection to Sri Sri Thakur. In our every word, in our every doings, if we keep this belief alive that he is with us, despite this geographical gulf, then that helps regulate what we say, what we do, how we behave. And you'll see, just as Abhijit was saying in his Jajan on Saturday, that has an effect. And people are attracted as a result. And the way we try to practice things according to the prescript of Sri Sri Thakur, that slowly but surely opens up before us, and it makes it easier, almost like a snowball effect, to progress along those lines. But that root has to be that sentiment for Thakur, and that real, and if that is genuine, then you also have that realization of those who are in tune with him. And it gives us that extra push to follow this prescript as per Thakur's wishes. Enjoy them.
Prasnavai, that was really very short and crisp and fantastic message. I think you all problem is that if we start talking about AcharyaDev Sree Sree Dada, stories and incidents are so many, it is very difficult to talk in 10 minutes, I know. So, but still, you have really explained the things very nicely, very eloquently. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru.
Susantada, would you like to do Kirtan now?
Yeah.
Okay, then.
We will do a Odia Kirtan, Niramaya Niranidhi.
Very good.
Niramaya Niranidhi hai tume avanga manas gochara. Niramaya Niranidhi hai tume avanga manas gochara. Niramaya Niranidhi hai tume avanga manas অবাঙ্ক মানস গোচর সর্ব কারণ কারণ হে বিভু সর্ব সর্ব কারণ কারণ হে বিভু গুণ গাইবি তোমার সর্ব কারণ কারণ হে বিভু সর্ব কারণ কারণ হে বিভু কি গুণ গাইবি তোমার নিরাময় নিরানিধি হে তুমে পঙ্ক মানস গোচর নিরাময় নিরানিধি হে তুমে অমৃত কুগতি তুমা চলা পথ কেবে ভুলি যায় কেবে রখে পাদ অমৃত কুগতি তুমা চলা পথ কেবে ভুলি যায় কেবে রখে পাদ অমৃত কুগতি তুমা চলা পথ কেবে ভুলি যায় কেবে রখে পাদ বহু বাসনারে ভরা মন্তর বহু বাসনারে ভরা মন্তর পুরিব কি ইচ্ছা তোমার বহু বাসনারে ভরা মন্তর বহু বাসনারে ভরা মন্তর পুরিব কি ইচ্ছা তোমার নিরাময় নিরানিধি হে তুমে পঙ্ক মানস গোচর নিরাময় নিরানিধি হে তুমে অবাঙ্ক মানস গোচর বহু বাসনারে ভরা মন্তর বহু বাসনারে ভরা মন্তর বহু বাসনারে ভরা মন্তর বহু বাসনারে ভরা মন্তর পুরিব কি ইচ্ছা তোমার নিরাময় নিরানিধি হে তুমে অবাঙ্ক মানস গোচর নিরাময় নিরানিধি হে তুমে हसीछि कांदीछि केते राहा धरी तुमरा हासिना जाइछि पासोरी
हसीछि कांदीछि केते राहा धरी तुमरा हासिना देछि पासोरी
हसीछि कांदीछि केते राहा धरी तुमरा हासिना जाइछि पासोरी
हसीछि कांदीछि केते राहा धरी तुमरा हासिना जाइछि पासोरी
बहु अपराधे बंदी मु तथापि
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 करिछि करुणा अपार बहु अपराधे बंदी मु तथापि बहु अपराधे बंदी मु तथापि करिछि करुणा अपार निरामय निरानिधि हे तुमे पङ्क मानस गोचर निरामय सर्व कारण करण हे विभो सर्व कारण करण हे विभो सर्व कारण करण हे विभो के गुण गाइबि तोमर निरामय निरानिधि हे तुमे अवाङ्ग मानस गोचर निरामय निरानिधि तुमे अवाङ्ग मानस गोचर जाचि देई अछ जहा योग्य नुहे अमानिया मन मागिबाको चाहे हृदय छ जहाँ जोग्य नुहे अमानिया मन मागिबाको चाहे हृदय छ जहाँ जोग्य नुहे अमानिया मन मागिबाको चाहे दया सागर कणिकाए देले कृपा सागर कणिकाए देले दया सागर कणिकाए देले कृपा सागर कणिकाए देले भजुतिबी कंच पायर दया सागर कणिकाए देले दया सागर कणिकाए देले कृपा सागर कणिकाए देले कृपा सागर कणिकाए देले भजुतिबी कंच पायर नीलामय नीलानिधि हे तुम्हें अवांक मानस गोचर नीलामय नीलानिधि हे तुम्हें अवांक मानस गोचर सर्व कारण कारण हे विभु 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 गुण गाई तुमर नीलामय नीलानिधि हे तुम्हें अवंक मानस गोचर 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 जय गुरु
Jai Guru Satsang Dada, that was really wonderful, highly energetic kirtan. You all performed very nicely. Saraswati, would you like to share a few words? Because we have reached to the fag end of our satsang now.
I think those who are in the list, let them do first, please.
I'm telling you that it is done now. So if you would like to do, then please do it now.
Everybody has left.
Yeah, please. So it is almost around 8:46 also.
My apologies, I just jumped in.